Hey everybody, this is No More Bits. My name is Matt Walker. This is a companion podcast to the podcast Little Bits and Pieces, a podcast that we start talking about an improv topic and usually veer away, and this is the remedy for that. Today we are going to talk about improv and getting paid. It's quite a topic. There's so many things, so many facets to getting paid in improv that really go into each thing. And we talk about it in the episode a bit, but it is the reason why it doesn't pay much is because it's a low ticket item and it's a low seating capacity item typically, right? And I've seen places with 30 seats being described as sold out, right? And a sellout is, $300 maybe. And that's not enough to pay for staff, to pay for sound people, tech people, ticket people, and also, 18 performers. So that's why. Now, how do we get paid? How do we do this? There's kind of three criteria here, and it's like improvisers that are booking shows, and then venues/theaters. In terms of improvisers, how do we do it? Well, and this isn't fun, but we have to do shows that pay us. That's not fun because we'll probably not do very many shows if we do that. But, if we focus in and we say we're mainly doing shows that pay us any amount, that's fine, right? The problem is if you do a show that doesn't pay you and you go, oh, I didn't get paid, there's nothing you can really do there because there's a reason why you're not getting paid. Whether or not you know why or not. Good. For example, I ran a show here called A Murder of Shows with duo and trio acts out of this coffee shop, the Black Crow Coffee. No one made money. I didn't make money. The venue probably did, but it was an off night. They even stayed open later for us, and no money was made. So if someone were to come to me and say, hey, I'd like to get paid for the show, I'd say, hey, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm not getting paid. Nobody's getting paid, so I can't do that. But I, as a booker, would totally have to understand that that is a line in the sand that someone might have. That's fine, right? There's so many different reasons why. And from someone who booked shows, this is how, I didn't make money on this show, but when I did run shows that did make money, I would pay people out, right? We had this show, this Murder of Shows. We had a big end of season finale of this show. We were ending the show and we booked acts and we got a 50-50 revenue split with the venue. And, we got, 70 people in there and it was like, yes, everybody's getting money. I did a show where we specifically talked about money at the top. And it's like, how much money, I was like, would $100 be fine for like an hour-long show? So I got 3 people and we made $25 a piece for just a long-form show. So when people that book shows can pay you, they typically will. But also be careful of people who just don't pay for no reason, right? You have to be very mindful of the gig you're taking. If you're taking a gig and it's in a coffee shop and no one's talked about money, then it probably doesn't pay. But if I was throwing this show at the Mahaffey Theater down here and it sold out at 1,200 seats at $35 tickets, I'd have to say, you know what, I need money for performing because, that person's making tens of thousands of dollars. And that's pretty much what you got to do. as an improviser. Also, subsidize your shit, man. Teach classes. Get to the place where you're comfortable with that. Do corporate stuff. Run jams. Run stuff as much as you can. Use applied improv. Murder mysteries are a huge thing for improvisers, and the murder mystery companies love having improvisers because they're so good at it. But it is what it is. For some reason, it's valued lower, the actual improv. And this is also, I wanted to talk about it from a venue perspective. A lot of times what happens with venues is they sort of have this pay-to-play aspect of them, where it's you take classes and then you're able to do shows. So it's like the shows themselves aren't like actual shows. They're more a billboard for the classes. It's like, look, you could do that if you took classes. And what ends up happening is they don't pay, and they've built the system so the system doesn't pay the performers. But I mean, as a recent now venue owner, it's important to build that in early on, right? Even if it's a revenue split, like that's important. And we also have to understand that like we're casting out a show right now, and because we haven't opened, we don't have money coming in. We are worried about setting guarantees. We've not opened a theater before in Tampa Bay, so we're a little hesitant to say this is how much money you will make. At the risk of, hurting the business so the business can exist, but also at the point of disrespecting talent. Because, I mean, there's nothing worse than being like, here's your payment, $5, So there are a multitude of reasons why people might not get paid in improv, but I think we're all in the same headspace after a certain degree of experience. And that is this: we should be getting paid for this. We should be, at all turns. Some places can do it more readily, other places can't. Other people, they build it into their shows, and other people haven't reached that level of success where they can. And we have to be understanding and understand that we are all moving in the same direction of getting paid. So that's been another episode of No More Bits. See you next time. The show you've just listened to is a part of the Podfix Network. To listen to other shows on the network, head over to podfixnetwork.com. Follow on Twitter @Podfix, and join the Podfix Nation at facebook.com/Podfix.